We are leaving Miles City. Well, first we're going to Walmart before we do. We spent the night at a Harvest Toast location last night without having made a prior reservation. They have not asked me for, because I never made a reservation, a review, and I won't give them one on the platform. But it wasn't really an awesome Harvest Toast location. Now, they had a pretty big lot in the back, but it was a brewery and the place was hard up against a set of railroad tracks. We ended up parking in front of the defunct train station, which was overgrown with weeds and boarded up windows and a gazillion pigeons. Which in some ways, the pigeon noise was in some ways kind of nice. It was a little bit like white noise. In other ways, all I could think about was what they might be doing to the solar panels on my roof. You know, like making them dirty, so to speak. And yeah, so the pigeon noise wasn't great. The train noise was pretty horrendous. Woke me up at, fortunately the last one that I heard last night was before I went to bed, but then it woke me up at 5 o'clock this morning. And I don't know, there was just something about I guess it was the owner, I don't think it was just a manager, but his attitude was just a little bit odd. They insisted that we sit outside even though it was bloody hot yesterday, because we had Kit, and they didn't acknowledge the fact that I said he's a service dog, we can sit inside, and I didn't want to cause trouble, so I asked Barb if she was okay with sitting outside, and she said she was, and so was I, except that, I was quickly reminded why it is that I don't eat outside, which is, the Yellow Jackets started showing up basically as soon as our food did. So we each took a couple of bites, got to-go boxes, and we both unfortunately had adverse reactions to our meals. We had exactly the same thing. And so I think we got a little case of food poisoning, which is unfortunate considering the fact that, you know, for a Bison burger and a beer, I spent 25 bucks plus tip. So, not happy about the food poisoning aspect of it. In fact, I might call him back and tell him that. Because it might be useful for him to know. I doubt that they'll, you know, throw their food out, but who knows. Alright, so our first stop today is going to be a quick stop at Walmart, because I noticed yesterday that Kit was having an issue with the sun coming in the side window. So I'm going to get one of those little shades that you stick on the window for little kids to shade them. And we're going to see if that helps them. We're going to see if that helps you. Yes, we are, little boy. So we got Walmart straight ahead of us. We're going to go get that done. And then we'll be continuing on our way.
Wake up with the sun in our eyes. Sally forth, no need for goodbyes. Journey calls, let's roll the dice. Every mile a new surprise.
Alright, Walmart is accomplished. Anyways, I think I like the sunshade. I'll readjust its position. And I bought a second one that I think I might be able to use in the kitchen window, which would be kind of awesome. Because I have no shade whatsoever in the kitchen window. And I'm thinking I can put one like just over the sink area. Although I might get two of them and put it over both areas. These directions made no sense at all. Okay, but I guess they do now. Okay, so Our next stop will be at the Flying J in 114 miles if I can make it that far. That's an hour and 35 Google minutes, which is a long time for me to sit still. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. And we missed seeing the quaint downtown part of Miles City. Oh well. We kind of skirted around the industrial area and then out here in the commercial area. The city center is off to our left, but we're not going to go back down there. Beautiful day. I don't think I gave you all the updates, so let's do that. It is now 10 o'clock in the morning. Ooh, let's see if we can get rid of this mosquito. You go out. I have so many mosquito bites at this point. It's 10 a.m. on Monday, August the 4th. 76 degrees outside, and we are heading north. We are heading generally north and east today. We've got about a 2.5 hour drive, I think, to get to the Theodore Roosevelt National Park. And I think we'll be a couple of days getting through there, actually. We'll see. I have no idea how. It's going to be less hot there than it is here. I think it's still going to be pretty warm. Look at that rail yard. I think that's what we were parked near. Well, we were definitely parked near the railroad tracks. And the trains were loud. And okay, so I'm going to back up to part of what annoyed me about the whole Harvest Toast situation. He said that we could try and park in the back where they already had one enormous Class A park with a tow vehicle. Or we could go park over by the train station. And I said, oh, you own that lot too? He said, no. He said, it's Burlington, Northern Santa Fe, but nobody seems to care. And then when we came back inside, they made us sign in as Harvest Toast guests, even though we weren't even parked on their property. So that was kind of annoying, actually. I just thought I'd take a moment to share the beautiful landscape with you. It's beautiful. I like seeing some definition in the hillsides. The relentless grasslands are kind of boring. This is much more interesting to look at. And I think that's still the Yellowstone River down there to the left. Pretty sure. It looks like this may indeed be our first glimpse of the North Dakota Badlands. Well, we're still technically in Montana at this point, but that sure looks like a section of Badlands to me. What do you think? Well, although I thought that we were following the Yellowstone River, I think this is actually the Powder that we're about to cross and have been following for quite some time this morning. I'm getting a little tired of all the road construction we've been experiencing. But I say that, I don't think it's all that much. Oh no, it is the Yellowstone. Okay, I take it back. Pretty railroad bridge that we're paralleling as well, off to the right. And I'm hopeful that we're going to hit a rest area sometime soon because I'm hungry. I completely forgot about making breakfast before we left Walmart. And I think, yeah, I just want to stop and I'll cut up an apple and some cheddar cheese and call it good. That's my plan. Okay, well that was a lengthy gas stop, but that's okay. We're back on the road. Barb was able to top up her water while she was getting gas, because the water pump was right at the end of the gas pump island, so that was convenient. I checked, I didn't, my water tank still shows full, but I don't think I've done anything basically but flush the toilet since we got water. So, here we go now. We got 24 miles, 23 Google minutes, I don't believe that. Probably half an hour. Well, now that we are in North Dakota, it might be important for you to know that here we are, home on the range. So I guess if you want to be home on the range, you got to exit here. Look at that piece of rock, or whatever that is. Pile of dirt. Oh, and there's another one over there. That's just really weird. It's just a pile of dirt. I forgot to share my fuel economy from that last fill up, which was 10.21 for me. And in the meantime, you can see the landscape starting to change dramatically up ahead of us here. Woohoo! Isn't that nice? And when we finally get stopped today, I'm going to be in search of that daggone moth again. It was over by the passenger side window, and I tried to put the window down to let it out. Knocked Kit's new window shade off and scared him. And then in that and subsequent attempts, I couldn't get rid of the thing, so then it flew back across the windshield and down into the corner on my side. Entering National Grassland. Welcome to Little Missouri National Grassland. We are here. So I guess this is kind of like the Badlands in South Dakota, where it's all surrounded by grassland. Interesting. And just like that, we just drove out of the National Grassland. So we were in there for roughly 5 miles maybe. Still looks like grassland to me. I don't quite know what I'm overlooking. I thought about pulling off for the scenic view coming up. I'm seeing it. You probably are not. It is pretty scenic. Oh, and look up ahead. Look at what's coming. My goodness. Oh yeah. Look at this. Yeah, I don't think I needed to stop for that as much as we need to keep going. I had been looking off to the left and kind of behind us over my shoulder and finding that quite attractive. But this is pretty spectacular. Okay. Fail me at the moment. We are getting off at the next exit though, so there's that. Theodore Roosevelt National Park. And that's really who we have to thank for pretty much our national park system and all of the lands that we protect as a nation. And hopefully we'll continue to protect. Look at this. Well, now I understand why he was so enchanted with North Dakota. Cowboy Hall of Fame, Chateau de Moraes part of what's interesting is that it became dramatic very suddenly. Okay, Chateau de Moraes, 1 mile. Roosevelt Park entrance, 2 miles. Looks like we got a bike path over there to the left. We got a river over to our left, but I don't know which one it is. I'm assuming it's the Yellowstone, but I am not positive about that. Good afternoon. Doing well.
First time in the park for you?
Yes.
Perfect, thank you. Here's the maps for you. How long is the RV here?
28.
So you'll want to turn around at Buck Hill. There's a construction site on the road right now. You can't do the full loop.
Okay.
It's mile 18, the end's 22.
So it's a loop and it'll come back out this way?
It's an out and back. It'll come back out this way, but
okay.
It doesn't loop around.
What are the chances of being able to get into the campground?
Pretty high. We have over 20 sites available right now.
Okay.
Those are all even numbers for you.
So my friend behind me is 25. Should she be able to make the whole drive?
You'd still want to turn around. It's less than 20 for the end.
Oh, so neither one of us to be able to do it.
Buck Hill, yeah, that would be the furthest place you guys would be able to go.
And I assume that's past the campground?
Oh yeah, it's well past the campground.
Okay, and we're coming up here to the visitor center, right? Awesome.
On the left.
Thank you.
Yep.
Official, we are here at the Theodore Roosevelt National Park, and this is the Maltese Cabin, which is where he lived when he first came to the Badlands, and it actually ended up getting moved around a lot. I want to put a picture of the timeline and everything in here, but we're going to go take a look at the cabin itself and show you what we got. All right, so as we're looking inside here, the white cabinet up against the front wall there is authentic to the time period, and there's a desk that unfolds to become a writing surface there as well, and he actually stored his books and so forth in there. It says that this rocking chair that's closest to us is authentic to his, probably came from the Ferris store in Medora, which is very nearby, like across the street. The gliding rocking chair next to it is authentic to the time period, but has no association with Roosevelt. And then of course we have the table and place settings. And then on this side, wow, this is tight. We've got the kitchen with an enormous stove, which was, oh no, I was gonna say it was probably the heat for the house, but there's another stove right here. And over here, we have a very small bedroom. Washstand, dresser, mirror, window, yeah. So, definitely a cabin. No doubt about it. Very cool. Let's just go ahead and walk around the whole thing while we're at it. Why not? Why not? So you can see lots of chinking between the logs.
Most of it was vandalized before it got here.
So there you have it. All right. That was cool. Look at the view. Just look at it. All right. All right, well, we are leaving the visitor center. We're gonna go check out the campground. We'll see if there's anything else we have to see along the way. But we have to come back out this way, so I think that might all stay for tomorrow. Okay, turning left. Buckle up, it's the law. Just look at this landscape, guys. All right, we got 5.3 miles to the campground, and it's gonna be up. I thought the campground was on the Little Missouri though, so I kind of wasn't expecting to go up. Of course, maybe we have to come back down. We'll find out all together. How about that? We're at 2,324 elevation just coming up that hill. So it'll be interesting to see just how high we end up getting. 90 degrees according to Henry. I don't think it's quite that warm. So the North Dakota Badlands seem to be more green even than the South Dakota Badlands were. Look at those pretty colors. The green really helps to set it off too, I think. I might have to put a South Dakota Badlands picture up against that for the contrast for you. Yeah, it is. I think the green really helps to offset all the colors. Okay. And I'm hungry. Now, I thought that I read that there was no signal in the campground. Maybe there isn't. I mean, right now I still got a 5G signal up here. freeway way up ahead of us, or not way up ahead of us, but just ahead of us, or some street outside the park maybe. It'd be nice if we could see some wildlife while we're here, huh? Danger, do not approach the wildlife. Oh, I think we're crossing the freeway maybe. Just beautiful. Do not drive or park off the roadway. Okay, wasn't planning on it. Okay, well I think this was totally worth the trip. Hope Barb does too. North Dakota was not on the list of things she was planning on this summer, but we added it because it, you know, we were going to be in Montana already, and then coming into North Dakota means I'm checking my last state off my state maps list. So as of tomorrow morning, I can fill in the last. Well, I can fill in Montana now, but I'll wait until tomorrow and fill in Montana and North Dakota. And then sometime this winter, when I'm sitting around with nothing to do, I'll make a video that highlights each of my favorite places from each of the states. I think that'll be fun. Of course, I don't know that I can even say favorite, because oftentimes people will say to me, what's the favorite place that you've camped? And my answer usually is, all of them. Because even the ones that I wouldn't necessarily go back to, I've enjoyed the opportunity to be there when I was there. Because it's an experience that I didn't have before, a place I hadn't seen before. So I've got an appreciation for that. Well, we're only up to 2466, and I still got a big strong 5G signal. I wonder when I'm going to lose it. And if I have to, I'll get out Starlink. That'll be fine. There could be bison over in this field, I bet. Prairie dogs. I saw all the prairie dogs I needed to at Devil's Tower. But look at all those prairie dog holes. That's a whole prairie dog town out there. Yes, it is. I walked through the prairie dog town with Kit at Devil's Tower, which was actually pretty fun. You enjoyed it, didn't you? You did. You liked the prairie dog town. Wow, beautiful view off to the left, back down to the freeway. You might get a look at it as we come around these next curves. We'll see. But this is just gorgeous. Vista. Wow. We'll pull in there on our way back tomorrow or the next day whenever we decide to leave.
I am really liking the terrain. I think it's just beautiful. It's cool to be in the North Dakota Badlands.
Yeah, I think it's also interesting to make the contrast between the North and South Dakota Badlands.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
really glad I had never slept in North Dakota before.
Yeah, this is a real treat for me because North Dakota wasn't on my original bucket list. And so I've seen everything on my bucket list. So to me, this is the frosting on the cake. I am like so thrilled.
Awesome. All right. Oh. Here's our bison. Hey, guy. Oh yeah, that's a big guy. Oh, and he's got a gore in his side. I got a couple pictures, plus I'm shooting video. Wow. Okay, so what was I saying about wanting to have a wildlife viewing? That was an up close and personal bison right there. Yes, it was. I feel blessed. How about a pronghorn and a bighorn sheep? Think we can look out and see them too? The terrain is right. Are you looking, kid? Are you looking for a pronghorn or a bighorn sheep? See if we can see any. I still have a 5G signal and we're like half a mile from the campground. If we have a signal down here, that'll be awesome. Because I really did not want to have to set up Starlink and use up. I don't want to get into my $10 10 gigabyte a month yet because it's only the 4th of the month. So I want to delay for as long as possible having to use Starlink. But we'll see how it goes. Wow. Well, this is our second night here at the Cottonwood Campground, and we're walking the opposite direction that we have so far. The Little Missouri River, I think, is over there. Even numbered campsites are first come, first serve. Odd number are reservable. 25 apparently is a group site, reservable by reservation only. Huh. We're gonna walk through here. I mean, if it's a group site, I don't know. I wouldn't really want to be setting a tent up in all the grass. Sorry for the jerkiness. I'm scratching. I'm covered in mosquito bites. And oh, there is a trail that goes through here. Wonder if it goes to the river. Let's go look. Let's go see. Oh, is this a tent platform? And maybe this is the group shelter? Yeah. Interesting. Alright, but there's more trail behind the tent platform. If this goes all the way to the river, that would be cool. And so this is our second night here. Barb and I were able to fit into one space. And because she's got the senior pass and I've got the access pass, that means it's $10 per night per site. So we're paying $5 each per night. So $15 for 3 nights. There are bathrooms. We're not using them, of course. But we will be able to fill up our water before we leave. So that'll be good. However, as with most of the places I've been for the past couple of months, it is strong in mosquitoes. Come on, Kit. Let's go see if we can see the river. Let's go see. And on the one hand, I'm pretty tired of the mosquitoes. On the other hand, we've been seeing a ton of absolutely beautiful stuff. Meeting great people, having awesome experiences. Yeah. And I think this is going to get us all the way down to at least a river view. So that'll be cool. And then tomorrow we're going to do the loop trail drive. All right, well, there's the river. Not much water in it. And the weeds get really thick down there, so I don't think I need that many more mosquitoes. But look at this. Just look at it. There's the sun. Here's the campground. All right, Kit, let's get out of here before we get any more bit. All right, so we came from that direction, went all the way down to the river. Now we're coming back up through this group pavilion. But I only see one tent pad so far, which doesn't make it seem like much of a group site to me, but what do I know? I think I got like 8 new mosquito bites now. Come on, Kit. Yep, he's smelling. And look at these berries. Anybody know what they are? I have no idea. I guess you can do tents down there. It's a long site though. Look all the way back there. All the way up here. Oh, more trash cans here. All right. I think I'm ready to put on hydrocortisone cream. There's 28. That's a first come, first serve. $27 here. What's this post down here? Is that a spigot? Oh yeah, that's another water spigot. That one has threads on it as well. Okay, so we know about at least 3 water spigots now. And then there are these trails. They kind of go all through the campground. But I gotta tell you, I just got enough new mosquito bites. I'm gonna call it an evening. We might pick this up again in the morning, we'll see. Thanks for coming along.